Hello everybody and welcome to my 100% walkthrough of Elden Ring by Level Up Pub Gaming. So, as I said in previous episodes, after we defeat a shard bearer from here on out, I will stop and create an episode where we read through item descriptions, test out Ash of Wars and any weapon arts that we haven't seen yet that we can, and we'll go over just like everything that we've done so far and recap our trajectory moving forward so that everybody's caught up. In case they're coming into the series, a little bit late because they started the game and they're just now struggling, and so they decided to hop in at this point, which I'm sure a lot of players are going to do. So, real quick, I have some stuff in the chest that we're going to read. So we've gone through pretty much all of the item descriptions for crafting materials. So everything, I went ahead and watched the previous episode, of item descriptions that we read, and I went ahead and organized everything into the chest that we have not read. So everything on this side we've already gone through, so we just have this stuff in the chest to read through real quick, and then we're going to go out and read the item descriptions for all the armor sets. But while we do it, we're going to go put our co-op sign down to see if we can get summoned to help anybody fight Radahn, just for some fun. So can't promise that that's going to happen, but we'll give it a shot. Alright. Ashen remains in which spirits yet dwell. These spirits appear some distance from the summoner. Though their movements are dull and confused, their low moans make them effective at drawing the attention of enemies. True death does not come easily for them. So I gotta take a sip of my... Oh, apologies. A strapping duo of cart-wheeling spirits who wield ripple swords and spew freezing breath. Both are second-generation Albinorics with dumpy heads that resemble those of frogs. Spirit of a stray dog corrupted by the scarlet rot. Though it is only a small creature, it is as violent as it is nimble, and its fangs fester with poisonous rot. Hey, sprouts. Summoning consumes HP rather than FP. That's interesting. Spirits of sweet little Miranda flowers. Carnivorous blossoms that feed upon human flesh. They creep slowly, scattering toxic pollen, vulnerable to fire. Do take care of the little darlings. We got a mad pumpkin head. Spirit of a mad soldier with a large, brawny physique. Though he has stifled his panic within the dark confines of his helmet, he rampages as if driven mad when agitated by bloodshed or the humming of insects. This mad soldier is all that is left of a broken gladiator. That's kind of sad. Spirit of horned folk who eschew letters and metalworking. Brawny and versed in distinctive spiritual arts, this particular tribesman wields a heavy bow. Spirit that wields round crystalline blades, both big and small. Its sturdy body, itself hewn from crystal long ago, is hard enough to blunt its opponent's blades, but blows from bludgeoning weapons can shatter it easily. This spirit takes the form of a crawling pest, its chitinous body making a dry rustling sound. Attacks enemies by secreting sticky threads. Secreting sticky threads. The kindred of rot are the servants of the goddess of rot, servants that have been forsaken. Last one, we got Battle Mage Huge. Huge comes from Celia to study the Hema Conceptus at the Academy, where he became a battle mage. Hema scholars seek to quell conflict with cannon fire and the gavel, but Hughes developed a longing for it. It's kind of interesting. Let's see, I think we got a few. So we got silver tear husks that we picked up in the last episode. The silver tear makes mockery of life, reborn again and again into imitation. Perhaps one day it will be reborn a lord. And so that kind of plays into the larval tears that we find and how they come out of creatures that seem to respawn and rebirth after they've been destroyed. Such fragments, a fragment of a living jar hardened after its death. Such fragments command a high price due to the magical power locked within. This leaves the living jars unfortunate targets for poachers. Yellow ember. Where is it? There it is. An ember taken from the eye socket of a corpse, a sign that the deceased suffered from the flame of frenzy. This grape has ripened and burst. Great ghost of the Lovewort. White flower that blooms in catacombs. Since times of old, large gloveworts were used to comfort heroic spirits, given in tribute to those who died the most glorious of deaths, in the hope that their stories would become legend. That's kind of sad. Some maps and craft books, so we'll do that when we get outside. We have some spells to read real quick. Right, Sorcery of the Crystal Cadre, a group of sorcerers who pursue the wisdom of stone. The secrets locked in the faint cogitation of the Crystallians. And this just describes what the sorcery does. So there's no... This was a Carrion royal family's secret means to prepare against the disloyalty of the Academy. The moon and stars would one day go their separate ways. The Cillian sorcerers were assassins, and it is said they often hunted their fellows. Originally a lost sorcery of the Eternal City, the despair that brought about its ruins made manifest. The snowy crone taught the young Ranni to fear the dark moon as she imparted her cold sorcery. The wrath of the Crystallians encapsulated in sorcery, each shard is of substantial size, making even a stray blow capable of inflicting a severe wound. This sorcery originates from the Onyx Lords, who had skin of stone and were called lords in reverential fear of their destructive power. The claimants search for lost oracles within their bubbles. Alright, incantation that channels the power of dragonkin soldiers. Create a spear of ice, lightning, and stabs it into the ground from above. On impact, the spears will burst into trails of lightning, advancing forward, just like you see right there. Dragonkin were born in the Eternal City, where they knew no true sky nor true lightning. Instead, ice lightning was their weapon. Interesting. Alright, fire begills those who gaze into it, and so the guardians of the flame are also its worshippers. The dead gazed at the skies over the lakes of Limgrave, praying that the dragon's flames would burn them to ash. It's kind of sad. So these are the ash wars that we have to go over. So we don't got too many. We got a few weapons that we can read. Everything else we can read while we're... Oh wait, no. And these. Alright, so an eye engraved with an Elden rune, said to be the seal of Queen America. Raises mind, intelligence, faith, and arcane, but also increases damage taken. These seals represent the lifelong duty of those chosen by the gods. A talisman engraved with the scene of a heroic tale. The mightiest hero of the demigods confronted the falling stars alone, and thus did he crush them, his conquest sealing the very fate of the stars. And that's Radahn. Alright, talisman engraved with heroic scene from a heroic tale. Though born into the accursed rot, when the young girl encountered her mentor in his flowing blade, she gained wings of unparalleled strength. So I believe that's Melania learning how to fight with the sword, which will meet her much, much later. Said to be a budding horn, the ancestral followers believe that the horns of a long-lived beast continued to bud like antlers over and over again until the beast one day becomes an ancestral spirit. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Said to be the budding horn, the ancestral same one. A talisman bearing an icon that depicts a group of masked figures. Raises potency of incantations. The figure represents the flock at prayer, their firm belief in the intangible inspiring even the solitary founder of their religion. What is faith, if not an affirmation? And then a talisman, facsimile of a scarab, the carrier of treasures and precious things. The golden scarab increases the amount of runes obtained from defeating enemies. I believe that's all we have in here, so let's go ahead and see if we can find somebody that needs help with Radahn. We probably won't. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. To be honest, I don't get summoned too much for Radahn. I did when the game first came out, but right now, oh, and I also forgot to mention this, just a couple days ago, 1.09 came out, so this started in 1.08, and I'm going to talk to him at the start of the next episode. I'm not going to talk to him now. This started at 1.08, this walkthrough, and now it's in 1.09 as of a few days ago. So we'll give it a shot. We'll see if anybody's out there needing help with Radahn. See if we can snipe Radahn from a distance and do some fire damage. Help some fellow Tarnished out. So let's go ahead and put our sign down, and then we'll start reading items and see if we get summoned. So for multiplayer, if you want to help other players, use the yellow finger. The red one is to invade. Or actually, the red one is for dueling. So they can come up and choose to accept you into their world. And then this one is for invading, and that's where you go into their world whether they like it or not. Let's go ahead and take that away from a blood sign, actually. Let's do it right here. And then we'll go ahead and read some armor while we're waiting, see if we get summoned. Okay, so... read through all the tiers. Maps and craft books. So some of these craft books have some stuff. A record of crafting techniques left by an armorer who served the great General Radahn. Contains knowledge of dealing with rot, the application of fire in particular. These ones say a record of crafting techniques left by glintstone craftsmen who served the academy. Contains information on Fa sorceries, such as they were called. Oh my gosh, you guys, we're being summoned. Let's see if we can help somebody with Radahn. Here we go. What's up, Jason?
Hey!
Thanks for summoning me. Let's see what we can do. Here we go, you guys. Jason. Doing good, Jason. We're doing good, man. Where's he at? Where's he at? Oh, there he is. Oh no, Jason. It was a good try, man. Man, rest in peace, man. Oh, so close, you guys. So close. Such a good try. Hopefully he gives us another shot. Oh, that's so much fun. Alright. Let's get back to what we're reading, shall we? Reading the craftsman books. Alright, a record of crafting techniques left by a man who, unable to become a finger maiden, instead became a missionary and went forth to spread holy teachings. Pretty cool. A record of crafting techniques taught by the capital's ancient dragon cult details techniques that harness lightning, the weapon of ancient dragons. Alright, looks like maybe Jason's giving us another shot. Let's see if we can help him out, guys. Yes! I wish I had the "You're Beautiful" prattling plate, and I would tell him he's beautiful, but I don't have that. Got it. Alright. Let's go. Oh my gosh. Well done, Jason. We get a rune arc and a good chunk of runes. Let's give him a bow. Well done, Jason Asano. Well done. That was beautiful, man. Congratulations on beating your Radahn. And that's co-op, you guys. It's so much fun. Give it a shot. And for that, we got a nice chunk of runes. And a rune arc, which is always welcome. So that's a good way to farm rune arcs. As a matter of fact, in my opinion, it's the best way to farm rune arcs. So let's do it again. Look for another fight while we go ahead and read our inventory. Whew, need to take a little breath after that one. All right, teamwork, you guys. That's what Solaire would approve of. A record of crafting techniques left by a depraved perfumer. Contains perilous techniques no ordinary physician would attempt. A record of crafting techniques left by a man who was utterly captivated by Saint Trina. He continued the search for her in his slumber. That's cool. Excuse me, guys, that battle left me shaking a little bit, so... A record of crafting techniques left by those afflicted by the madness of the flame of frenzy. Contains techniques discovered in desperation. Also sad. Let's see. Maps. The Demesne of Limgrave, far south of the Erdtree, is bordered to the northwest by the cliffs of Stormvale, and under its ever-clouded skies roll the great steppes of the Pale Lands. Other than the Mistwood which envelops the south, it is known for its land which its lands which lead to Caelid, a path trod by many a soldier in the past. The peninsula, to Limgrave's south, is named for its unceasing rainfall, redolent of Lamont. The majority of Liurnia, known for its vast forests and ever-present fog, is sinking into a lake. The western coast has always been closely associated with Carrion royalty. The majority of Liurnia, known for its vast forests and ever-present fog, is sinking into a lake. The eastern coast is home to a high road running north and south. The Academy of Raid Lucaria towers over the north, while at its base spreads to the town built around it, now flooded. The two high roads end their journeys here. Caelid, known as the locale of the last battle between General Radahn and Melania, Blade of Mikola, is a vast land, consummately marred by scarlet rot. The dragons that escaped the scarlet rot made a nest of the plateau to Caelid's north. Thus it was named Dragon Barrow, and none dared to enter. Two great rivers flow beneath the lands between, the Soyofra and the Ansel. This vast region is said to be the grave of civilizations that flourished before the Ur Tree. And the same thing on that one. Alright, so in... had a couple of incantations in here that we just picked up. Superior incantation of Dragon Communion channels the power of Exykes, the Decaying. Exykes, Dragon Communion Revenger, did not forget his hatred even as he succumbed to the Scarlet Rot. And then the last one is Flame Granting Strength, superior incantation of the Fire Monks. This incantation does not burn the caster, and so it is considered forbidden by the Guardians of the Flame. And oh my gosh, we got another Radahn Fight, you guys. Here we go. Let's do it again, Radahn. Let's do it again. What's up? Thank you, Tiamat. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Let's make some stuff, shall we? Get some more poison pots going. Right. Flux. What's going on, guys? We got ourselves a 3-5. 3v1, let's do it. Let's go. Oh, and he's summoning some other summons too. I didn't know we could do that in co-op. That's so cool. Alright. Oh, whoa. I didn't see what happened. Oh no. Either the host died or... Yeah, I think he got hit by an arrow. Oh, such a bummer. Alright, we'll see if they come back and just summon us again. It's always a bummer when that happens. Just want to make sure I got... Oh yeah, I was going to rot him too. Okay. So I got these. Frost him, poison him, bleed him. Okay. I forgot what else I had on, and I had on this for Bloodhound Step, and I'm not going to need that actually. That's... Okay, cool. Alright, let's get back to reading some stuff, shall we? Where were we at? We were at the incantations, that's right. Well, hopefully, Tiamat summons us again. Short sword with the tempering pattern on the blade, a unique weapon to warriors of the lands of reeds, afflicts targets with blood loss. These swords are considered auxiliary weapons. Yet one man is known to wield this weapon in his left hand while using a full-size katana in his right. A demonic swordsman known only as Okina. Interesting. Let's see what we got done. I already read that. We read this. This one. Treasure of Sword of Eokade, a lesser, long vanished domain. The copper coloration is not to be confused for rust, but is a conduit for its wielder to move it by their will alone. And this is Swords of Aeocade dance through the skies. So this weapon art is exactly what the weapon that the bell-bearing hunter does when he charges up his red sword and it flies forward and just spins there for a second. That's what this does, only it's a smaller version of it. A barbed rod carried by death birds. The birds are graveyard firekeepers. It is said they rake out the ashen remains of the dead from their kilns. Kind of sad. We didn't read this one, actually. Silver sword, carried by clerics of St. Trina, inflicts sleep ailment upon foes. St. Trina is an enigmatic figure. Some days, she is this comely young girl, others as sure as he is a boy. The only certainty is that their appearance was as sudden as their disappearance. Interesting. Great sword featuring a flame-like undulation. Shreds enemy flesh, inflicting blood loss. Scarlet Rot is kept at bay with flame at Redmane Castle, and as such, this beloved sword of Jaren's eventually became the symbol of the castle itself. That's pretty cool. A coarse iron lump of an ultra great sword mows down foes by utilizing its incredible weight. Though handling it likely requires the wielder to have surpassed the realm of the merely human, it is precisely for this reason the weapon is used to slaughter even inhuman foes. Originally rubble from a ruin which fell from the sky, this surviving fragment was honed into a weapon, one of the legendary armaments. The ruins it came from crumbled when struck by a meteorite. As such, this weapon harbors its destructive power. That's cool. A grim weapon wielded by a swordman of the Eternal City. This shotol is a blade as fine as a needle. Forged from the liquid metal of a silver tear, it is thoroughly tempered until hardened. Katana forged from meteoric ore to dispatch life forms born of falling stars, deals magic damage. The blade is weighty, known to deliver slashes of such ferocity that the impact is said to resemble the crash of a falling meteor. So that's why it scales with strength. Katana forged of glintstone, masterpiece of a Celian swordsmith. Light and wreaths the blade when sheathed, explaining its Moonveil moniker. That's pretty cool. Axe made from an herbivore's skull, weapon of the ancestral followers who disdain metal. This axe is more of a bludgeon. It foregoes a bladed edge, instead using the beast molar teeth to buffet foes, dealing strike damage. It's kind of interesting. Weapon consisting of three-pronged blade affixed to a long pole. The long central blade closely resembles a katana. The weapon of the Land of Reeds, known for its ability to be wielded as a spear while still being capable of performing slashing attacks. Harpoon with a tip from a sharpened meteorite shard, wielded by the Claymen who infest dynastic remains. The blade emits a faint light and deals magic damage. Spear fashioned from pure crystal, a deed impossible for a human. Enwreathed with a powerful magic, its attacks scales with intelligence. The inscrutable Crystallians have but one clear purpose: to safeguard their crystals until the end. One theory posits that they yearn for the return of their creator, who will carve for them new brethren. It's kind of dark and sad. Let's see, where did I do that? This one. A beaten red battled standard is furled around this time-worn halberd. Even after his lord was fled, Commander O'Neill continued to brandish this flag in the devastation of the rot-eaten field of battle. The sole veteran who remembers this battle with pride. I always felt bad for Commander O'Neill. We'll meet another one kind of like him, that I also feel bad for him. War Scythe of the Clean Rot Knights, who fought alongside Melania, Blade of Mikola. This weapon of commanders in Melania's army. This was the weapon of commanders in Melania's army, and the Halo half Halo blade deals holy damage. Super cool. Horrific weapon made of hardened skeletal arm, wielded by Ensha of the Royal Remains. Fitted by placing one's hand into the fist's grip until they dig in. O clinging creature, a king relinquishes not the hand. Interesting. One of the weapons originating from the True Fingers, a formless sequence of ciphers, comprises its blade, and as such, no shield can repel it, deals holy damage. So yeah, these are unblockable. That's pretty cool. The furtive inscription appears to hang in the air, the language of the light spoken by the two fingers. Imported dagger design with a rather unique handle. The blade can be swung about as the extension of one's fist. Pretty cool. I think we're gonna read that one. This one. One of the weapons designed for gladiatorial combat, used by duelists who were exiled from the Colosseum. The black fang protruding from the bronze snake head is coated in deadly poison. See, it deals poison damage. Pretty cool. Malformed bow in the shape of a pair of poisonous snakes imbues arrows with poison, though pagan magic revealing its true worth when used with poison-infused arrows. Used by assassins known as formless serpents. Great bow of black iron wielded by General Radahn, decorated with the lion mane motif, imbued with the gravitational power of the Star Scourged. When used along with Radahn's spear, it becomes a true weapon of a champion. So yeah, if you use his arrows specifically with his bow, then it does a lot of damage. It's pretty cool. Alright, what have we got left? I think the horn bow. Yeah. Long blade made from an animal horn, wielded by the master hunters of the ancestral followers, imbues arrows fired with magic damage. So it does the same thing, but with magic instead of poison. Reveals its true worth when used with magic-infused arrows. That's pretty cool. Staff of the primeval glintstone sorcerer Lusat. Only those who have glimpsed what lies beyond the wisdom of stone may wield it. Enhances the power of all sorceries, but consumes additional FP. And it does consume a lot of FP. Staff missing its glintstone, wielded by sorcerers who believe that discovery comes through the act of asceticism. The staff only distinguishes itself when casting invisibility sorceries, but the reason is enough for some to wield it. And we'll read this one when we get back. Oh no! I have a connection issue. Yes. It reconnected, you guys. Let's go. See if we can help somebody with Radahn. Have some fun. Gus! What's up, man? What's going on, good sir? Whee. Oh, whoa. That is some serious lag. Hey! Craven. Oh no, we got some bad lag. Hey! That's a bummer. Hopefully that clears up. Let's get to it. Hopefully the lag clears up. Not bad. Looks like we're good. Alright, let's give this another shot. Hopefully we don't get disconnected this time. Thank you, Craven, for your help, man. Rest in peace. Thank you so much for your help. We Couldn't have done this without you. Congratulations, Gus. You were awesome, man. Well done, good sir. Congratulations. Enjoy the cutscene, good sir. Enjoy the cutscene. Thank you for the summon. And rest in peace to, oh, I forgot the other person's name. We couldn't have done that without him. He rotted him and everything, so it was an awesome fight, you guys. Thank you so much for the summon. Let's do one more. Alright. We were, I believe, at the staff. A heretical staff fashioned from a smoldering, withered sapling that turns the blood of sacrifices pierced by it into glintstone. Similar to hex magic, sorceries are scaled with faith rather than intelligence when wielding the staff, which enhances thorn sorceries in particular. Pretty interesting. Pillory made to punish serious felons, used as a shield. Though made of good sturdy wood, it is only a makeshift tool and performs as such, perhaps due to its use as a device with which the guilty were made to endure prolonged suffering. It raises vitality. Interesting. A medium-sized metal shield, easier to handle than a kite shield. The inverted hawk is the emblem of a company of slaves ordered to explore the Eternal City. Tricksome bronze shield depicting the face of a fire giant. Several tongues leap from its open mouth. A dreadful visage of burning flames are designed to remind one of the horror of the facing a fire giant. In other words, the shield has an instructional function. Interesting. Great shield shaped like a fang featuring the crest of a red-maned lion carried by the red-maned knights who fought alongside Radahn. Metal torch that burns with the cold ghost flame, tool of the fallen hawks who prowl the underground rivers. When the band's last embers were used up in their long search, they began to burn the bones of their fellows, acquiring the cold ghost flame, but sealing their fate as dwellers of the underground for all eternity. That's crazy. Alright, you guys. So I'm going to make some items real quick, just in case somebody does summon me and forget to eat our pickled turtlenecks. Let's get some more poison pots going. It's good to poison him. And then we'll throw in a few fire pots. So we can make a few frost. Got plenty of those. Alright. Keep forgetting to rot him, but don't really need to. We do plenty of damage with our fire and holy and everything. Oh, okay. Okay. A headband with the cloth removed. Standard wear for commoners of the lands between. Only there are no commoners remaining with their wits about them. Cowl made of soft cloth. Travel attire worn by the nobles in the capital. Garb favored by the aged. Abandoning their birthplace after the shattering, these undead wanderers are the pitiful product of unending life. Page hood. Worn by the pages who serve the nobility and are mindful to keep them out of harm's way. The unassuming sack-like appearance befits their unseen and unknown nature. Cap worn by young academy scholars. The juveniles birthed anew by the amber egg of Queen Renala, the head of the Relicaria Academy. Yet their rebirth is not without imperfections, and thus do they repeat the process, eventually becoming utterly dependent upon it. Rebirth is a sleep to them. And with each awakening, memory fades into oblivion. And so those were the little students crawling on the ground when we fought Renala that were biting her teeth. That's their story right there explained. One of the glintstone crowns bestowed upon Raya scholars whose pursuit was deemed worthy. The Carlos Conceptus is the oldest of the Academy lineage of study, begat by the sorcerer Azur. Scholars who follow in his footsteps pursue the mysteries of comets. The lineage of Olivinus Conceptus began with the sorcerer Lusat, and its adherents continue his study of meteors. Scholar of the Twinsage Conceptus were the elites of the Academy, permitted to study and excel in sorceries of all kinds. Excuse me. Scholars of the Lazuli Conceptus study Carian sorceries, a heterodox pursuit that views the moon as equal to the stars. Fillet worn by the maiden who serves the two fingers, the maidens live to serve a chosen Tarnished, sharing their guidance and the wisdom of the two fingers. The guidance of grace would ensure that the pair be brought together, or at least such was the promise long ago. A burgundy pointed hood, attire of the wise sages who were deemed heretical, evidence that the wearer was driven from town. Hat of a traveling perfumer of no renown. An associate of a healer, he is said to be in search of new aromatics and flower gardens in hopes of treating misbegotten, omen, and all those seen as impure. It's kind of sad. Headband decorated with a pair of great horns, worn by ancestral warriors. The ancestral followers keep their distance from the Erd tree, awaiting new buds. They are certain to sprout from their very flesh, indeed their souls. Blue scarab worn directly on the head. These scarabs roll clumps of cerulean tears during their labors. Slightly increases flasks for cerulean tears. I think these all say the same thing. Yeah, basically. I love this. This is my favorite mask in the entire game. Head covering made from largely unaltered head of an impish golem. Resembling a wolf, it holds trace amounts of lupine endurance. So this raises your level by 2 for endurance. It's pretty cool. Helm fashioned from a crystal-looking glass. One among the Eternal City's ritual implements, easily broken and weak against striking attacks. Worn by those committed to high treason, it wards off the intervention of the greater will and its vassal fingers. A mask fashioned after the head of a black wolf, relic of an assassin who assumed the guise of Ronnie the Witch's loyal shadow. The likeness is striking. So it's Blythe, basically. See, a hooded cloak of vivid crimson worn by expatriated royalty. Such cloaks were gifted to those who departed on journeys without specific orders to faraway lands from which they would never return. In other words, the gift of a cloak made it easier for undesirables to be on their way. Roderica never once saw the guidance of grace. Mask of a black cloth that covers the mouth, favored by bandits for hiding their faces. It also provides some protection against poison. Flanged iron cap, wildly issued to foot soldiers in the Lord's army. Helm worn by lean, mean, and filthy militiamen. The upward extension that serves to create an appearance of larger size, however slightly. And then, I think we already read through that. And then, helm worn by brave Academy soldiers. Its brow is adorned with a single cuckoo's feather. Helm worn by soldiers who fought by General Radahn's side. Its visors is fashioned after a lion's fangs. Deep red hood that covers the whole head, worn by soldiers sent to the penal colonies who were required to keep their faces hidden. Iron helm of an unknown knight. It is made of thin iron plate. Such metal armor is heavy, but provides considerable damage negation. Helm of an enchanted knights that once served the Carian royal family. The enchanted knights, anointed by the Lunar Queen, were all heroes of the highest honors, but fell into disarray with the decline of the royal family. Helm worn by Ray Lucaria Academy Knights, its brow is adorned with a single cuckoo's feather. Winged helm of the Cleanrot Knights, celebrated for their undefeated campaign in the Shattering. The Cleanrot Knights vowed to fight alongside Millennia despite their inevitable, if gradual, putrefaction of their flesh. Their acceptance of their fate made these battles the fiercest of all. Helm graced with gold human bones, worn by the unspeaking adherent of Sir Gideon the All-Knowing. It is said that the bones belonged to an ancient lord, the soulless king, the lord of the lost and desperate, who was known as Ensha. was the invader that we fought at the Round Table Hold. Excuse me, I just need to take a sip of water real quick. My apologies. Alright, guys. We're almost done. And we might get summoned again, so let's get through this. Cloth made of coarse material, commonly worn in the lands between. Garb with a modest cloth cape attached. The board hung from the neck depicts a sprawling tree, its roots and branches forming 2 holes. This is a self-imposed shackle, a voluntary display of allegiance to the Erd tree that increases faith. Oh, I did not know it increased faith. That's interesting. High-quality garb adorned with fine gold embroidery. Travel attire worn by nobles in the capital, terribly faded and tattered. Abandoning their birthplace after the shattering, these undead wanderers are the pitiful product of the unending life. Tan leather coat adorned with fine gold embroidery. Travel attire worn by the noble. Same thing as the other ones. Gown of soft cloth adorned with fine gold embroidery. Travel attire. Oh, good lord. Alright. Juvenile scholar robe. Nope, it's the same description as the cap that we just read. So, those dedicated themselves to the study of glintstone formed from starry amber, received the modest yet elegant deep navy garb after making their vows of virtue and austerity. But with extended life, one is apt to forget old vows. Interesting. Robe worn by scholars of Lazulia Conceptus, singular among the greater Raya Lucaria Academy. These scholars, who sought to master Carian sorcery, instead learned to see the moon as equal to the stars. This robe, in the hue of the full moon, signifies their heresy. Worn by maidens who serve the 2 fingers, the maidens live to serve a chosen Tarnished, sharing their guidance with the wisdom of the 2 fingers. The guidance of grace would ensure that the pair be brought together, or at least, such was the promise long ago. Thick burgundy robe, attire of the wise sages who were deemed heretical. Oh, same thing as the robe, or as the hood. Garb of a traveling perfume. Oh, same thing. So, a lot of these are just going to be repeats of what the other sets and what other pieces in the set are. Armor worn by Lean, see, same thing that it says for their hat, but this has a little bit different. Freshly singed battlegrounds, infusing with the stench of the dead, forbidden lands that will be excised from the memory of history. This is where the vulgar militia serve as untiring, unsung watchkeepers. It's kind of sad, actually. Armor worn by the soldiers who fought by General Radahn's side. The surcoat depicts a red-maned lion raising a sword in the image of Radahn. Thus, they were red manes, and all proved they were worthy of the name. Alright, so we'll start right here with the armors, and this will be the last Radahn fight that we do, just because I don't want to give myself more of an advantage moving forward than what you guys have. So, see who we got. Oh, Tiamat! Yes! Alright, not sure what happened last time, but we're back in, so awesome. Oh. Let's go, you guys, let's go. Oh no! Oh! Whoa! Alright. It's on. Poisoned. Is it poisoned? Yep, yeah, it's good. Doing good, man. Doing good. Let's see where he's at. There he is. Got somebody. Not sure who you got. We got him. Oh no! What happened? Tiamat, I hope that goes through for you, man. It went through for me, so it's gotta go through for him. I'll put my sign back down just to see if Tiamat needs help again. But I'm pretty sure that went through for him. I don't know how he died right there. That was so weird. Hopefully that went through. I got the rune arc and I got the runes for it, so it had to have gone through for him. Wow. That was such a bummer. Oh, man. Hope that went through for him. If he summons me again, it's just gonna be like, oh, pain. Gotta do it all over, but did so good. Hopefully that went through, and congratulations to him. Or her. Damaged armor draped with a large, deep red cloth, worn by soldiers sent to the penal colonies. Armor worn by Caden sellswords, made of the pelt of a snow wolf, which protects against the cold. These hulking, fearless mercenaries said to hail from the mountaintops of the wintry north are adept at fighting on horseback. Caden is the name of their home settlement. Armor of metal bands arranged in a lattice, worn by marionette soldiers crafted to serve but the sorcerers. The construction of this armor is remarkably crude, now rusted over and severely dented. For a doll, the only thing that matters is that it does not break. Iron armor of an unknown knight. It is said to be of thin armor plate. Oh, same thing as the helmet. Yep, same thing as the helmet as well. And same with that. And same with that. Saves us some time, doesn't it? Take a sip of water real quick. Don't worry, guys. Got a few more things to read and we're done. And then we'll test some Ash of Wars and then we'll talk about some other stuff. Gloves of a traveling perfume. Oh, same thing. Don't gotta read that. Machetes made by simply wrapping dirty cloth around the arms worn by bandits. Metal gauntlets covered in nicks and dents, widely issued to foot soldiers in the Lord's army. Same thing as the other ones. Damaged iron gauntlets worn by soldiers sent to the penal colonies. Same thing, yep. So these are all the same thing. Okay. Thick, full set of armor covering the entire body. These gauntlets were worn by knights who, whether by misfortune or misdeed, were forced to abandon their homes. These fierce warriors were each and all accomplished. Perhaps that is why, despite their tutorial losses, they were still named knights. Still kind of sad. Trousers made of a coarse material, commonly worn in the lands between. Modest shoes made of cloth. Standard wear for commoners in the lands between. Only there aren't commoners with their wits about them. Boots made from tanned leather. Travel attire worn by nobles in the capital. Yep, so all the same thing, basically. Trying to see if there's anything like Clean Run Knights. Nope, same thing. So, saves us some time that we don't have to read through all of that again. But the talismans we've all gone through. And the notes. The notes is all that's left. So, we're almost done. So, you don't have to buy any of these. I told you there would come a time when I was going to read everything. I'll buy them, and then I'll read them to you. And I promise you that I know all the information in these notes, and I'm going to be showing them to you, without having to go in here and read the note itself. So, in case you're wondering what they say, though, here it is. A flask of wondrous physics still remains at the Third Church, America. Yep, we already got that. Someone lurks at waypoints that was Blythe. Hey, we're being summoned. Fort Gale and Caelid houses a gateway that leads to Redmane Castle. There's a hidden cave in the town of Celia. We already went through that. Search Selvis, hide a dirty secret, so I knew about that, so we'll see. Hopefully this isn't... Okay, Heavy Boy. Cool. Somebody new. See if we can help Heavy Boy out. What's up, Heavy Boy? Hey, Craven! Alright.
Hey!
Let's do it, boys. go get Radahn. Buff you boys up real quick. Alright. Let's get it. This is the last one I'll do. Ooh, it's giving us a double boost. Oh no. Ooh, heavy boy took a hit. Too close. Alright. Doing good, boys. Doing good. Where's he at? Where's he at? There he is. Done. Well done. Craven and Heavy Boy. Well done, good guy. Well done, good sirs. Well done. You guys were beautiful. Congratulations, Heavy Boy, on beating your Radahn. You guys smashed it. Let's give it up for all these summons. Ooh. And we got a new gesture. This is something that you might get too if you start doing co-op. This gesture is only available to people that pre-ordered the game, but it becomes available to you if you assist somebody that already pre-ordered the game and has the gesture. So either Heavy Boy or the other summon has this. They pre-ordered it when it came out, and now we have that gesture because we helped them beat a boss. So I'm going to recommend that you guys do that. Look at how many runes I have. 136,000. And so I'm going to do one level up, and I'll spend the rest on just random stuff that, like, I'm not trying to get ahead of you guys. I did a few more than I intended to. But that's because I wanted to put my sign down again to make sure it could help out that host that went down on us. So we'll go ahead and go over to the gate front, and we'll test out these few Ashes of Wars, and we'll finish reading the notes, and then we'll wrap up the episode. But actually, no, my apologies. I want to go over the farming routes with you guys before we wrap up the episode, but let's go ahead and finish reading. Had lots of fun fighting Radahn. Okay, yeah, notes. Come on, what am I doing? I'm all over the place. There you are. The Vile Graven Witch seems to be a frequent visitor to that place. Wow, I did not know that. Gravitational power that pulls can bring flying foes low. That's interesting. Wonder what that means. I want to try that on some like birds and animals that are flying. So this is the demi-human. You slay the big one, the little ones cower. Land squirts, you can overpoison them. Even the big ones. I didn't know that. Headstone of the Stone Digger Troll bear old wounds. The heads of the Stone Digger Trolls bear old wounds. I'm not too sure what that means. The crawling royal revenants and their followers are all cursed, healing powers, yep. Beware of fire monk chariots bearing the face, so we'll aim blow to the top of the chimney. That's the critical hit I showed you guys on those things. To stop the mausoleum strides, you'll need to clean up around its feet first. Yep. South of Grand Lift Adectus lies the Frenzy Flame Village, inhabited by the sick. Stay well away. That was the one with the Eye of Sauron kind of thing that we had to take out. Beneath Lendel, at the very bottom, lies our Lord, Lord of the Frenzy, the Three Fingers, who holds us in thrall. And this is the ending that I'm going to be picking for the game. Letter given by Raya, as thanks for retrieving her necklace, contains an invitation to Volcano Manor. Brave Tarnished, seek the Atlas Plateau in the realm of the Erd Tree. Prove yourself by making this journey, and the Volcano Manor will fully extend its invitation to fight amongst a family of champions. Single map found on a corpse seems to point to a meeting place. The man it came from surely desired one. The sole means of gaining entry into the Academy of Glintstone Key. Note given by the sage Gowry detailing the secret he promised. The town of Celia hides the source. Light 3 flames atop the candle towers to break the seal. The simple, badly weathered map, left discarded and forgotten for some time, depicts streaks of amber light. It's interesting. Simple map given by Fia, a clue to the whereabouts of the Black Knife print, which we already got. And then these ones will, when we get to the areas where we can find them, we'll find these painting puzzles, and we'll, well, I guess we can read through them. No, it's all the same thing. So, these are all just tutorials, so that's everything caught up. From this point on, I will take very, very detailed notes on what we are picking up each episode, so that way I'll have what we need to read organized just in the chest, and we can just read through it real quick, and each of these episodes should become less and less lengthy as we progress. So, and again, I'm just doing this for anybody that wants to, you know, get the full lore, experience the full game, just in case they don't have the game and they're just watching this just, you know, out of boredom, because I know that I've watched plenty of walkthroughs for games that I'm never going to play, so that's what I'm doing this for. So the Ash of Wars that we have left to see. Let me see. So these are the ones that I have not shown you guys yet, so we'll talk about the roars. Let's go ahead and put on the roar. What else? We got Sword Dance, already seen this. Beast Roar, okay. Oh. No. No. Poison mist. Hey, there it is. Okay. Let's try out some new Ashes of Wars that we haven't seen yet. And some of these weapons, you know, I just can't show the Ash of Wars yet because I don't have the intelligence and the stat requirements to it. But when I switch over, you know, you're going to see stuff from like this and this and this. Like, I don't have the intelligence to show those right now, so my apologies, but when I do, I will show them to you guys because they're awesome. Let's go ahead and show you this one. Roar. Another roar. Okay, so check some of this stuff out. This is the Dancing Blade. This is basically the weapon. Oh, he broke right through that, or he blocked it. That's crazy. It's the weapon art that the, see that? And then there's a swipe at the end too. So it does really well with the insignia talisman. See how it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So all those hits add up really quick, and it goes really well with this talisman. Right here. Raises attack power with successive attacks. That's successive right there. So really, really awesome. Ash of War scales really well with Arcane. So let's go ahead and we'll fight these guys. It's a Stormblade. It's a projectile. Very, very powerful one, too. You just sit there and spam it. So very, very, very awesome Ash of War. And then Warcry is different. It's going to raise my attack and my defense, and then it changes the... See that right there? That right there is actually a different charged attack than what this sword normally does. So every time you do one of these roars, it'll change the charged attack into something else. So that's the new charged attack while this buff is on. And it's all three on that side, so let's do these. What do we got? Barbaric Roar, same thing. Raises it up, and then it changes your charged heavy attacks into combos like that. Let's go smash this guy so he doesn't blow his horn. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Okay. So up next, we got Beast Roar. It's kind of the same thing as that other roar. So projectile, you boost out at people. And then this one is the Ghost Flame Ignition. I believe there's two different ways to do it. Go away. There's two different ways to do it. So there's this, and then a strong attack. Oh, nope. Sorry. So, light it. There, that's the explosion. That's the strong attack. That's what you do when you follow up with strong, but if you do it with a light attack, then it'll just blow it out like that in front of you and forward. So it takes a second to get off, but it builds up frost damage too. So if you want to do the big one, just do the strong attack following up. That'll create an explosion. It actually creates like a whole circle around you. So very, very awesome Ash of War. Very awesome weapon. We got that from the Deathrite Bird, I believe. Oh man, do I have enough? Can I two-hand this to do it? Oh, I thought I put an Ash of War on this. I guess I didn't. My apologies. So I'll show this one. Can't show these ones yet, though I want to very badly. The Moonveil is so much fun. Such an awesome weapon. I don't think we've done this one, so let's try these. And then we'll do that Dragon Halberd. Okay, so up next we have Flowing Form. This is from the curved sword that we got from fighting the perfumers in Caelid in the town of Celia. So to show you what this does, it turns the sword into liquid. It's like a long whip. And I don't think there's any follow-up command, so, but it takes care of a wide area of enemies like that. So very, very awesome. The only problem though is that you can't coat this sword. And that's such a bummer. You can coat the Bloodhound's Fang, but you can't coat this, and you can't change the Ash of War. So, yeah, unfortunately. So this is Unblockable Blade. Let's go find a guy with a shield, so we can show you that they can't block through it. You have a shield? No, you don't have a shield. Let's go fight the knight. He's got a shield. Oh, God, this guy's gonna follow me. Alright, here's a shield. Oh, alright. Let's try it on him. He's gonna take more. So he's blocking. Nope, nope. What? Can't be 2v1 in me, man. That's not fair. Wouldn't do that to you. Alright, so now he's blocking. Dang it, come on. I'm trying to show that it'll do damage even as he's blocking. Oh, I missed him. Block, dude, block. There we go. It's getting aggravating. Blocking? Nope. Sorry, guys, but if they try and block that, they will be able to. Okay, Chilling Mist. So you see the wind up does damage and it leaves some frost around, and then it leaves my blade covered in frost damage for a little bit. So I'll do frost damage as long as the frost is on the tip. So very awesome Ash of War. And the poison moth flight is basically the same thing. It should leave poison, or I guess it doesn't. Yeah, so just kind of a swiping attack, just like the frost one, only it leaves poison everywhere. Somebody running at me? Oh, he is. Alright, let's try it on you. Oh, what? That was very rude. Now he's poisoned. See? Pretty cool. Okay. Flaming Strike, same thing. Just like fire right in front of you. Hitting whatever's in front of you. It's pretty quick, too. Spectral Lance. Throw a projectile. Goes pretty far, too. So, looking for some cheap projectiles. You're stuck in a dungeon. You need to hit something. You can put a Spectral Lance on a dagger or spare sword or spear. Yeah, pretty good. Let's see, is there anything else that we need to... Yeah, okay. I can't do Clean Bone. So I don't have the Arcane. Alright, done Quick Step. Yep, already done Quick Step. Done all the bows. I'll wait to show you Radahn's bow. We actually get some stuff. So, yep, that should be everything, you guys. So all the Ash Wars were all cut up. So, hope those displays helped you out and helped you get an idea of what you're working with and what you can set up. But now what I want to go over before we end this episode is just the farming routes that I have laid out. So you see all of these different diamonds that I put on Sites of Grace. These are farming areas that I recommend. As I'm saying, we're going to start it right here. So about an hour and 12 minutes in. So let's go ahead and just start and see how long it takes to go through all of these farming areas to collect different items and stuff. So, let's get on my actual weapon that I'm using. Let's put our armor back on. I was wearing this so we could fight Radahn. I believe we were wearing clean rock knight armor. This. Okay. So this is our farming route for the moment, because each one of these guys drops 1,000. So I'm not going to farm them because I have so many runes from fighting Radahn, which I, once again, highly recommend you do too. But come over here and take that one out. I recommend that you just get a bunch of poison pots and arrows, rot arrows, and stuff like that together, and you just help other people get by him by poisoning him and rotting him. So there's one right here. Go ahead and take him down. There's one right there, and then come over to the right of the field. I always work my way up. I take out that guy. There's 3 up there, and then I go hit the birds on the side of the cliff, and then I come all the way down here. There's one right there, one right there, and then one over there, and one over there, right next to this little statue. So that right there is about 13,000 runes, and then after you take them all out, go ahead and head up the road towards the big bird, the big scary bird, and go down the left side of the road. So there's one right here. After you take him down, you'll come around this corner. There'll always be another one patrolling right here. And then there's 2 right here. You can take them down if you want, or if they're too close together, you know, and you're too weak, I recommend being safe. But there's one right there, one right there. If they're grouped together too close, then you don't want to fight more than one of these guys at a time. And then one right here on the way down. Make sure you're picking up toxic mushrooms that you see, because those are highly important for our poison pots. That's how we make poison pots. And then there's 4 more right here. 1, and then 1, 2, 3, right up there. And there's a couple of toxic mushrooms to end the entire thing. So I always end it with this one right here. And once you've done this and you've cleared out all those guys up to him, and you collect these 2 toxic mushrooms, That'll net you about 22,000 depending on if you hit one with gold eyes, and that has 5,000. But that'll net you, clearing the entire field, net you over 20,000 runes. And now with the gold scarab talisman, it'll net you about 26,000 runes. So you start in, just do that. Especially if you're halfway to a level up, definitely come and just clear out the rest of that field and get to the level up before you go into a new dungeon. Then we come here and we go and grab all of these glintstone fireflies, especially if you're in intelligence build. This is how you make magic arrows. It's how you make magic pots. Very, very, very useful. So there's 9 right here, and then just sit down at the grace again. But if you're intelligence dexterity, I recommend that you extend it a little bit. Come up over here. Make sure you hit these birds on your way, because if you do this 30 times, that's 30 flight pinions right here. So they'll add up. That's how you get, all the supplies you need in the game, just by doing this kind of stuff here and there. And then hit these 2. Alright. So that's 4 flight pinions right there. Now I can make some arrows when I'm in need. And then come down here and grab these Fergalblum. Just don't go too far south, because there's an Erdtree avatar right there above my head. He is very, very strong. He will decimate you. So go ahead and just grab the Fergalblum, and then go back and do that again, like 2 or 3 times. And like I said, it'll add up. And then the next farming location over here at Hyrule Cave. I know I made an episode where I said to do it at the beach down by the coastal cave. You can if you want, but this is much better because these octopuses are just as weak as the ones at the cave down on the beach. So, and there's 5 of them right here instead of 2. So come in here. Or come out here, I should say. There's one right here. Just go up and give them charged strong attacks. Ice them. You stop. So, like I said, they go down a few hits. And then, do not sleep on the foliage on the side as you're going up this river. Grab the mushrooms. Oops, didn't mean to take that, but oh well. Going up to number 2. Just start hitting him with strong attacks and weapon arts. Bleeding him. What have you. Come over here to this poor turtle. I know, I'm sorry, dude. But the neck meat is just too valuable, you guys. I'm gonna try to act tough. Got it. Okay, we hit it. We're big and an octopus. I don't care. As always, the time I try to show you something and I say, oh, it's easy, it's like the AI bugs out and makes it difficult. So another one right here. Stop touching me. You're gonna get a repost for that. Alright, so make sure you grab those mushrooms, the turtleneck meat, and this herba right here. And like I said, you do this 10 times, you get 10 of each of those materials. It adds up. It adds up to a lot. So like I said, this ovaries, we're not using them yet, but we're going to very, very soon. I got a stupid... Where is he? There he is. Couldn't open my map because he's there. Alright, and so just do that. Go to there and collect 5 ovaries. Just do it once every time you log in to start playing. And then if you are dying for some holy materials, because you're making a lot of holy pots because you're high faith, come down over to this Erdtree right here in Limgrave. Although if you don't need, this is only if you need like a big amount of... That's so weird. There's supposed to be smoldering butterflies here, and for some odd reason when I log on to this character there's not, and I log on to my other character and there is. That's very odd. I don't know what's happening. Guarantee you, you're probably right by that campfire and see some smoldering butterflies, but for some odd reason they're not there on this account for some reason. So, like I said, come up over here to the minor Erd tree. And this is if you just need tons of these flowers right here, these golden flowers. Golden sunflowers. Make holy pots and holy arrows and stuff like that, so come here if you need lots of them. I think there's about 15 around this tree alone. Yeah, good chunk. And then grab these root resins right here at the end. Do that 4 or 5 times and you'll be good and stocked. And then here is one of the bigger foliage farms. It's right over here by the War Master Shack. So let me show you this path. You do this twice every time you log in, and you'll be up to where I'm at. See, 448 maxed out on row fruit, 485, 340. Like, this is awesome. 579, 594. This is all just from doing this a few times here and there. I've never spent more than like 15-20 minutes farming for this stuff, but it just adds up. So come over here, grab all this row of fruit, and you can choose to ride however you want. Obviously, I'm not saying you gotta do it directly this way, but this is how I do it. And come down here. We're gonna go back towards the shack and go around it because there's some goodies all around it. Should grab this mushroom, root resins. I mean, heck, we're even cleaning up the forest, picking up poop. Like I said, if you don't use the poop, because you might be a little confused about why there's poison pots that poison the user or the person that throws it as well. There's a talisman that increases your damage with rot or poisoning. So if anybody's poisoned nearby or poison procs, it'll raise like your physical and or just attack damage by like 10% for quite a few minutes. It's a pretty cool talisman, but the pots that you make poison poop with poisons you, gives you that increase in damage, and then you just heal the poison, and now your opponent's poisoned, you're not, and you have an increase in damage. So it's kind of a synergy deal. Works really well if you can pull it off in PvP. But poison is kind of tricky in PvP, but like I said, I'm not going to go into PvP, which is player versus player, in case anybody wonder what I'm saying. So come up over here, and of course grab any gold runes that you see. Always grab the gold runes. Then up over here is a field of smoldering butterflies. Make sure you take out the slugs. They're pretty aggressive. They'll try and set you on fire. Like, grab all the smoldering butterflies. So this is a good area to grab them if you just need a few. I'll show you a better area to farm for smoldering butterflies if you need a lot of them. Up here is a couple of herba that you always want to go out of your way to grab. And then we'll work our way back to the other side. Not need any more row of fruit. I'm completely maxed out in my inventory and in my chest. So I don't even need to pick up any more, which is exactly where you want to be with every item in the game. Of course, you're not going to get there with every item in the game. Row of fruit is the most common, so there's some right there. There's some over here. Grab this mushroom. There's another mushroom in these bushes right here. Make sure you grab any row of fruit that you see. And there's more row of fruit over here along the edges. And then I always end going up into that little bushel to grab the row of fruit in there. And then I come over here and grab these, and then end it right here by this herbas. Right on. So go through that entire thing right there just once or twice, and you'll be so stocked up on all sorts of different foliage that you need for the game. And then this right here is the field with all of the sheep. Just go through and do Hoarfrost Stomp or something that does like a big radius of damage, and they'll just knock all the sheep out, and you'll get as many thin bone beasts as you possibly need. Plus you'll get some budding horns and meats for medicine, which is really important later. And then here we're in Jarberg. You can pick up all sorts of different, that's where I pick up most of my early game poison materials for poison blooms. There's a herba right there. So come down to Jarberg and just run through and grab all the foliage you need. They even got a few sunflowers here, golden sunflowers. The gray violets are for some pots that interact with your spirit summons. They don't work too well, if it does work, it's not just well enough to do. It's better to just buff up your spirit summons with your spells that you got and not worry about pots. So, and then there's the crystal bud. You always want to grab that crystal bud. Need as many of those as we can get. This one is also for another item that is coming up later on that we're going to need just as many of this cave moss as we can get. So it's always important to come here into Crystal Cave. There's one right here. There's one right here. Oop. There it is. Let me turn my lantern on to show you guys what we're looking at. It's pretty dark in here. So as soon as you sit down at the Grace, the cave is this way. See the summoning pool right there? So there's one cave moss right there, one right there. And then just sit down at the Grace again. Do that 5 times, you got 10 cave moss. And just do that every single time you start playing, your gaming session. And 7 times later, you got 70 cave moss. Maybe even more, because you see right there I picked up 2. So yeah, just start sitting down at the Grace, stand back up, go grab them, sit back down. Easy peasy. And then also do that at the 4 belfries. And I also recommend that you go ahead and try and take out these birds sitting on the perch right around this corner here. Just to add up on the fight pinions that you have. So grab these 3 herbas and ride up and hit the birds and miss them and make a fool of yourself. Oh, they showed me. That was embarrassing, but usually you hit the birds and collect their feathers or their 4 foul foots. And then just sit back down and then stand back up and do it again. And that's how you get a nice stockpile of herbas for your pickled turtlenecks. Would you stop? There. Alright. And then you can collect some fight pinions. So do that 5 times, 10 times every time you play. And so right now, we've only spent 15 minutes doing all this stuff. And then this is the last one on the upper. Sorry, mixing up my words. This is the last one we do above ground, and then we'll show you the last 2 farming locations below ground. So this one is a good farming location for early game smoldering butterflies. A lot of burning field sections in here. So there's one right there. Come over and get this turtle. I'm so sorry, buddy. I'm a monster. That's probably when I spend most of this Radahn money on is turtleneck meat. Just because we're already so stocked up. Even if you've been following my guide, then maybe you should have a bunch of turtleneck meat. Or I'm sorry, you should just have a bunch of pickled turtlenecks. We're still collecting turtleneck meat wherever we go, but you should have plenty to use because we've been hitting every turtle we see. See, we got over 110. That's where you want to be. So I'm going to buy a bunch of pickled turtleneck meat because we're not going to run out anytime soon. If you've been doing what I've been doing and hitting every turtle, every poor turtle you see out in the lands between, it adds up. Grab that mushroom, grab this herba, and then grab this mushroom right here. You cannot sleep on these items. It's how we make fire pots and lightning pots and all sorts of different stuff. And then, of course, there's a bunch of sheep here if you want to farm for some bones and stuff like that. Ugh. Make sure you take out these slugs because they drop smoldering butterflies too, and so do these guys. And they love to fight you. Oh, you broke me out of it. That's what you get. Alright, get a nice chunk of smoldering butterflies. I've been trying to farm this guy for his armor so you can come up and fight him if you want. Haha, you're poisoned. No armor this time. So yeah, you can just take him down. Sometimes he drops smoldering butterflies. There's a smoldering butterfly right here, and then 2 mushrooms right here. And that is a loop. And then just go teleport back to the Grace and do it again. And so, any other farming spots they can show you? Just one more underground. Well, 2 more, I should say. But the second one we're not going to go into yet because I'm going to start there at the beginning of the next episode where we actually continue on with the actual game and not doing side stuff like this. So this is for the melted mushrooms, which we use to make not only soap, which cleans your character, makes them look nice, and cleans the poison buildup and rot buildup off in case you roll around in rot. And also they make the oil pots, which increases your next fire attack by 50%. So absolutely insanely awesome. We gotta use as many of those as we can. At least when we're doing fire attacks. We'll be using less of the melted mushrooms and oil pots when we switch over to the intelligence side of things. But faith and strength, you guys are all about that fire damage, so don't sleep on these melted mushrooms. Try and get as many of them as you can, because the oil pots take 2 melted mushrooms to make 1 oil pot, and they go quick. They go very quick. So stock up, you guys. And these Dukist herbas, they make medicine later on that can help us get through some tough areas. But aside from that, they're pretty much pointless. That's why there's so many of them. So just go ahead and sell every Dukist herba you get. As you can see, there's so many of them. You're just going to collect an absurd amount when you're underground. And then this is where we left off last time. And this is a good place to farm for silver tier husks. The items that I went over, we're going to need a lot of those later on coming up. So we'll go over that last farming spot at the start of the next episode. So let's go ahead and end this one. Hour and 31 minutes. It's actually the longest one, so I apologize. I wish it actually would have been faster had I not fought Radahn. But I recommend that you go out, help other players beat their Radahn. Just go down to that portal, drop your yellow sign, help them do with ranged attacks and stuff like that. Earn yourself some rune arcs, earn yourself some runes, get some level ups going, have fun. That's what this game is all about. So thank you so much. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. And if you have any, like constructive criticism and you're a content creator and you got some advice on how I can make my series better, please don't hesitate to reach out in the comments. I'm always looking to learn from people that know more than me. So that's it. Until the next time, I love you guys. Be kind to yourselves and be kind to each other.